bringing her ice cream. Like, this was a real sisterhood. So I was very, very hurt. Like, I called Judge Mathis. I was going to sue her.
You called Judge Mathis? Girl. And then I think, like, that probably really was hard for you. Because you guys are like, let me tell you about my best friend.
Yeah, let me tell you about my best friend.
Sun-kissed skin, hues of gold and black, bronze, brown, caramel to cream. My melanin determining the intricate details of my overall theme. Coils resilient and bold from roots of Afro-textured, natural and wavy manes. An expression of my uniquely individual style. And it's a black thing. Cocoa butter saturated, sealed with moisture. Hydrating my melanin enriched skin. A gift from my ancestors, my family, my kin. Welcome to the Coils and Cocoa Butter Podcast. On this episode of the Coils and Cocoa Butter Podcast, we're diving into navigating sisterhood, discussing the joys and the challenges we've had with friendships with other women and lessons we've learned from our journey. So come join us as we heal, deal, and grow together. Let go.
Hey y'all, welcome to today's episode of the Coils and Cocoa Butter Podcast. I'm your host, Jazz, and today I'm being joined by a great friend of mine, Charity.
Hi, guys.
We're going to dive into navigating sisterhood, and I invited Charity today because we have been friends for quite some time.
Yes.
How long?
Over a decade.
Over a decade at this point. We met in college, and I'll let you talk about that. But you have been somebody who has been an accountability partner for me, and we've been through some ups and downs in our friendship. So I thought it would be good to have this conversation with you. So you want to tell them a little bit about how we met and how our sisterhood has started?
So I met Jasmine back in 2007 when we first went off to college. I met her through a mutual friend at the time. She was always in my room, and I couldn't get away from her.
No, I was the third roommate. She just didn't realize.
That's what she says. But, she had her own room, and she didn't want to go back to her room. And she stayed with me all the time. Even put up pictures of herself and decorated the room and everything to it being about
to accommodate us three as sisters,
and not
because I was about the sisterhood at that point too.
Girl, no, you was just trying to find a way to escape.
So yeah, we've been friends for quite some time.
Yeah.
So how this episode came about is another reason I invited you, because you are the reason that I decided to do this episode. Because Charity texted me randomly out of the blue and was like
I always do.
Hey, remember this girl who will remain unnamed who did not like you? And yeah, I was like, yeah, I remember her.
And I was like, she look good. Like, she's really getting her, she look good. And shout out to her. It was just funny.
What was the situation that you remembered that led to her not liking me?
Honestly, like when we first had the conversation, I didn't realize that she didn't even like you until church. But before that, I was like, I honestly forgot about the whole situation, because when I called, I was like, girl, she look good. She got this going on. And you was like, she don't like me. And I was like, oh, she doesn't. And then that's when I remembered the church situation. I was like, oh my gosh.
So tell them.
My bad.
Tell them about the church situation.
We were at church, and this one time we were there. I mean, it was like a real moving spiritual moment. Like everybody was just in on just feeling the Lord come to our lives and just, power of prayer. Mm-hmm. So we were the whole church had to get like in this big group, and we all had to hold hands, and the girl snatched away.
She refused to hold my hand. So you know the hate gotta be deep if you at church and you would not hug somebody.
Yeah. But you can be, let's be honest though, your mouth can be a little disrespectful. Like she can say some things and you'd be like, what?
Okay, I will admit that has been one of my challenges.
Yeah.
That we will be discussing. But okay, let me explain the situation. So this particular girl that we are talking about did not like me because her friend didn't like me. Cool. Her friend was dating some guy, God rest his soul, because he's now deceased.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
How? Oh, sorry.
Okay, we'll see.
She'll
We'll
have to tell me after.
But I guess I don't know what their situation was, but we were in the student union, and I guess he saw her coming, and he like hurried me up and put me on his lap and was like, "Don't move, just stay right there." And it just all happened so quick. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't talk to this guy like that, so I mean, I was just like, it just happened so fast. And right when he did that, the girl that he had been talking to walked by, and
he was scandalous.
It was scandalous, but it happened so fast, and I'm just like, I don't, know.
God rest his soul. But
yeah, but then moments after that situation happened, everybody like, on social media, and she posted one man's trash is another man's treasure. So then, of course, everybody hyping it like, oh, Jazz, she talking about you, she calling you trash. So I was like, okay, well, I'm trash then. And I mean,
I'm sure you probably said something slick.
Probably after that. But this is my thing, and I feel like I have never been the type of female who starts drama. But I am somebody who keeps drama going. And that has historically been one of my challenges in sisterhood. Because I've always felt like if you don't have enough decency to have a conversation with me and to get the facts or to ask questions, if I have wronged you or you think I have wronged you or perceive that I've wronged you in some way, then I don't want to explain myself. Like I have historically allowed people to believe lies about me that I never cared to explain because I just felt like, well, whatever.
I mean, to an extent that I understand completely. I think if we were actually truly friends, then you should have really...
it would have been a different story.
It should have been like a conversation.
Was friends.
But if we never was like really friends, then what is the point in having a conversation? Like, you're going to believe what you want to believe anyways because your feelings is involved. And I think a lot of times that is the challenge within any relationship, whether it be friends, whether it be a boy and a girl or a girl and a girl. It doesn't matter. Whatever the relationship, parents, anything. Once your feelings are involved, it becomes a different scenario.
Absolutely.
It's hard to like work through your feelings. A lot of times I think that we let our emotions get the best of us and we just kind of play into that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, even now, like I could say throughout my growth journey, that sometimes I'm still going to be like that. I don't feel like I need to explain myself to anybody.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah, but I do feel like it has been a barrier for me because I do feed off the drama historically. I've been working on myself.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Have you watched Insecure?
You know I love Insecure. Shout out to Issa if you ever seen this.
If you a girl,
that
shut up. That's your best friend. But it reminds me of the last season with her and what is her best friend's name? I can't think.
Molly.
When her and Molly fell out. Mm-hmm. So like they worked through a lot of challenges, their sisterhood. But really, like breaking up with your friend it's heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you just get through because that's been your friend for so long. It's almost as detrimental as breaking up with somebody who you're in an actual relationship with.
Absolutely. If not even harder because like your friends tend to be like your good friends tend to be the ones you tell everything unfiltered. Like with your spouse, you still kind of filter your feelings like, a little bit.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, but like your sisterhoods are deep because like you really pour out like a lot.
Yeah, your heart. And I feel like, for real, like if we was to ever break up and you tell my secrets, I'm coming back behind you. Because what has been said needs to be done. With toe. Us.
You done, sis. You done.
Throw the key away.
But I'm not that petty. I mean, I'll talk stuff to you, but I probably wouldn't talk stuff about you to other people.
don't.
I'm the type of person, though. I've always been the type of person. I want to tell you if I have an issue with you, then I don't want to go around about, talk to other people, and get like I want to go to the source. And I feel like my delivery,
you have shown me that, in a lot
of times. But that has been one of my issues too. Like you say, my mouth has gotten me in trouble. I don't always think it's what I say. It has always been my delivery. Because I'm very unfiltered a lot of times.
I think sometimes it is too. It's what you say too.
Okay, I will say that. It is.
Sometimes it
is what you say. I thought about a little bit of things that I said. Like,
sometimes it's what you say too. It is not always your delivery. And I think that sometimes but I think sometimes we don't realize, like even with our friends, a lot of the times our relationships, what we perceive or what we see for our relationships within other people. Like if I look at you and I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like she deserves that, so I'm gonna let her know. Sometimes we can't perceive that being the other individual, because it's like, girl, you're supposed to have my back. This is what I want, so you just need to be on board. And that's hard. And I know for me, that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm. I think it definitely comes with balance and being able to like, not from both sides, but being able to, like, for me to be able to tell you as your friend, hey, Charity, I see this might end up in this space. Let me just, as a friend, talk to you. But number one, it has to be from somebody that you can trust and that has your best interest. Because, you got some females that will tell you stuff, but it comes from a place of jealousy. It comes from a place of jealousy. It comes from a place of anger, or it's just not genuine. Yeah. So I can't and I don't just receive stuff from just anybody. But if it's coming from somebody that
you shouldn't. You should never let anybody just tell you anything. Mm-mm. But if I know nobody who don't know you from the core. You don't know me from within myself when I'm crying. You don't know me from when I was just out of my mind, feeling like I was sad, depressed, or just with me from my happy moments and just dancing. If you have never danced with me, you can't tell me nothing. You don't know me if you ain't never danced.
So obviously we've danced together many times. But yeah, I feel like I could be able to receive from somebody that I know has my best interest, even if I don't follow what you say. Yeah. Because we've been in those spaces too. You got that bad, not being able to receive sometimes. Yeah. But we've grown.
Yeah, we've gotten better.
Yes. But
I can say like we really have been much better.
We have really matured.
Yeah, because I could say like it's been some times where we like, I don't want to hear what you're saying, and we cut each other like.
But I think the thing is, I always hear it, whether or not in that moment, because too, it's about where we are in our process, in our healing journey, because we might not be able to receive wherever we are mentally, emotionally. You could be like, that dude ain't shit, and I'm just not hearing it. I done heard it multiple times from you, like.
You really want to do this?
Okay, but still, like, I don't care. Like,
and sometimes you just have to be in support and just wait and watch. Yep. I think sometimes we get too ahead of ourselves and be like, you shouldn't be doing it, and feel like we need to be the ones to judge and be like, no, this isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. Versus just really being that friend to be there, to be open and to receive and help them get through the situation that they're about to go through.
Yeah, because
even though we know it,
push somebody away. But that's why I said I just feel like it's about balance. Because at some point you do feel like I got to talk to you about this, and then honor whatever decisions you make, and not be so wrapped up in your decision that.
Because if I go back to him, then I went back to him.
Like either way, because at the end of the day, I got your back. Whatever decision you make. So if you wanna,
because I feel like. You can't really, because people, honestly, like even in your own relationships with friends, like if I go back, I've fallen out with one of my friends, really close friend, like my best friend. I've fallen out with her at least maybe 5 times. And we are like the best of friends. But even during those fallouts, what I've learned is like she's just a passionate person. And her vision and what she sees or what she feels is strong. So she's very vocal about what she says. But it doesn't it's not coming from a place of jealousy or anger. it's really coming from a place of love and trying to open your mind, or for you to understand how she feels. She needs to filter sometimes, but you know, that's who she is, and I accept her for who she is. Sometimes that's just it. You just gotta accept people for who they are,
and take breaks when you need to take breaks.
If it's too much at a time, and
that's anybody setting healthy boundaries. Like, and sometimes even the people you love the most, like, I need to take
a break from you.
Because if we gonna maintain this thing long term,
I'll call you. I need a break. I'll call you in a couple weeks.
So I mean, I definitely feel like it has been a challenge for me. My communication has been a significant barrier for me, and not always putting myself out there to tell people how I feel, or overcompensating and telling people exactly how I feel, and not coming from a place of love, I think has been one of my challenges. I don't know, I think trust has been just my relationships in general, but my relationships with women I don't know if I ever told you, like, well, you know, my biological sister, that's a whole nother episode, but I had a girl who I was friends with her boyfriend in high school, and my ex-boyfriend at the time, my first love, it was her cousin. My first love was her cousin, and I was friends with her boyfriend. And
I'm trying to see if I remember this.
She was going through some stuff with her family and didn't have anywhere to go.
No, I do know this story.
Yeah. So her boyfriend at the time, who was my friend, asked me, like, because, you know, my black mama's gonna be playing that, like, could his girlfriend stay with me for a couple of weeks while she got her housing situation together. And because I knew her through him and my ex-boyfriend, I begged my mama, like, mama, please let her stay, you know. And she and I became, like, my mom ended up saying yeah, and it became way longer than a 2-week period. Like, she ended up living with us for like 6 to 8 months. And honestly, my mom was gonna let her stay even when I went off to college. Like, she was gonna let her graduate and everything. But when I went off to college, it kind of just began, I guess she was in a space where she was not used to having that foundation of, like, a family or whatever. So she started getting fearful of, like, they gonna make me leave. So I guess she was, like, you know, preparing herself to make that exit. But when she ended up leaving, like, she stole from me. Yeah, she stole from me.
Have you ever talked to her afterwards?
No? I talked to her, but, like, okay, so she was, like, literally being raised like my sister. Like, my mom was going to her, checking on her schooling. She had guardianship signatures from her parents. Like, she was helping her get her, like, my mama was her mama, pretty much. Like, she did every motherly, coming to get us from work, taking us to work, and making us, giving her gas money. Like, she was really a sister to me at that point. So when she left, when my stuff was missing, I was at college, so I would come home and be looking for stuff. And when my stuff was missing, I asked her, like, hey, did you take, you know, my flat irons? Just little petty stuff. Did you have this? Did you have that? And it wasn't, like, at first me thinking you stealing, because you could use my stuff. We sisters use each other's stuff. It's not a big deal. But then the response that I got was, like, filled with bitches, and I mean, she stole money from me. It was bad. And I was kind of taken aback, like, whoa, you know. So then at that point you feel used, and like, I mean, this is somebody who had medical issues, so, like, I would go to the hospital when she was in the hospital with us and bringing her ice cream. Like, this was a real sisterhood. So I was very, very hurt. Like, I called Judge Mathis. I was gonna sue her.
You called Judge Mathis? Girl,
I was gonna sue her. They called me back, and I was like, I don't know where she at though, but
I don't know.
I mean, I definitely feel like that was a significant moment for me. On top,
I think that would be for anybody.
Yeah, on top of my bio sister story, like, that really, really hurt. So I feel like my wall went up, like, females. On top of the fact that I've always been a girl who had a lot of male friends, and I don't know, because of my vocalness, because of how, like, unfiltered I have been, I think I drew more dudes because I was just the chill. You know, I always been the girl that all the dudes can hang out with. So I feel like I always struggled with females anyway. But when that happened, it was just like, wow, girl. So I definitely think trust has been a big thing for me. So when I have a sisterhood and I like really let you in and I love you, number one, you ain't going nowhere because we ride or die at this point. But like, it really hurts to the core if it's a dismantling of that sisterhood.
So now it makes me think of one of our close friendships, and then I think like, that probably really was hard for you, because you guys are like, let me tell you about my best friend.
Yeah, let me tell you about my best friend. I mean,
I wonder how hard it was for her though too. I never really asked her.
But maybe I don't think it was hard for her. Maybe that was my selfishness.
Maybe it was though. Maybe you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. This is your best friend you've been close to for so long. I
honestly don't want to go in that direction because I'm gonna cry and I gotta be cute. I'm trying to be cute. But yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know what happened. I honestly still to this day don't know what happened with that situation. It might have been accumulation of my mouth.
I really think so. I was sitting here thinking like, you don't know. I'm sure she was probably like, I'm sick of her talking.
Okay, but the thing is, our dismantling happened when I was growing and I was saying the right thing. So,
and I think that a part of you wanted what was best for her, but then I think at the same time, she wanted something that it just wasn't.
I mean, and that might have been the challenge, like we said, like when you're not trying to hear something, you know, and I think it comes with introspection, like where am I at? Because I could recognize that I have had barriers that have made it hard for some people to like.
You said a lot of stuff
to connect with me. But you know, sometimes we got to check ourselves because it might not be the other person. It might be because I'm not ready to look at myself in the mirror, and this person brings too much clarity because they know me for real. Yeah. Like you can't. Okay, I know you for so long. You could tell me I'm good when you ain't good, and I'm like, but you ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't see you, I can hear it in your voice. I might wake up and dream about you. Like I done dreamed about you. Like what's going on? I think that's
spiritual. I feel like we've always had like a spiritual connection.
We definitely have, and I feel like that has been for us like something that has helped our friendship along the way because we have gone before God together.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you introduced me to the church that I currently go to. Well, I haven't been in like year. So
I mean, but we was always late dealing with you. We was always.
I know. I started a new job and I was telling our
heart because we was late every day.
Friend, I told my coworker I'm late a lot. My friend used to be so mad at me. We lived in the same apartment complex.
Yes, we did.
And we was late for church because I was never ready on time. Mm-hmm. That is terrible. And I'm still late.
One of our other friends made the comment like, if you could win $1 million, if you could bet on somebody coming late,
that's me telling you, girl, bye.
Who would you bet, yo?
It's only big on time.
That we all agreed it would be charity. But yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like the spiritual piece has been a big. Like to me, when I know God is signing off on a friend, it's a whole nother level to me. It is. We have gone before the throne of God.
If you can pray with your friend, flat out,
that's
your friend.
You know,
for life.
Like, okay, girl, what you going through?
We can pray together.
We're praying. Like, we gonna pray.
Because I feel like that's some real. Like, if I see you going through something, even if you don't even have to pray with them like right then and there, but if you just like have it in your spirit to be like, I just need to pray for her. Because I feel like something is going on.
And I think move on those things too, because you don't know. Like, I've had situations, just like, tangent. I have to have situations where, like, God has told me, pray right now. And, like, when my car got crashed into a tree.
Oh, yeah. That's a terrible one, too.
God told me I was.
What is with you in these relationships?
I don't know. Like, I got stories for days. We could be here for like 10 episodes.
How did I make it this long?
How am I alive? Grace of God, but no, that was another friendship that went around.
It was.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it.
I didn't even think about it either until just now.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. But yeah, my car got crashed into a tree, and I was very, very. I've never been that drunk in my life.
You called me.
I never have been that drunk in my life.
It was my birthday, wasn't it?
No, it was like a holiday. It was around your birthday.
I feel like it was my birthday, and I was like partying or something.
It was a holiday. It was like, when is Veterans Day? It was in the summer. Your family was over. Day. But anyway.
What's it like? It's Labor Day.
Something.
Veterans Day is in November.
I don't know. I don't keep up with holidays. All I know is I'm off of work, so that's
okay. Yeah, it was Labor Day.
But
Labor Day weekend is.
I had been celebrating because I had just got accepted to grad school.
Yeah.
And I was not planning on going nowhere but your house, and we lived in the same complex. Yeah. So I was turned up. I was vacuuming my house at 10 o'clock in the morning, taking shots. Like I'm somebody, y'all, that I'm not a drinker. Like I could be lit off of margarita. Like, so for me to be taking shots since 10 o'clock, and then I went to your house and I had a drink, and the person who I went out with said like she was gonna be the designated driver, and like, girl, we gonna celebrate, you got in grad school, We could go on and on about that story and why it was stupid for me to believe that.
Let's just get to
But anyway, I was lit. She was driver. She said she was sober. She crashed into a tree. Okay, but before we crashed into the tree, I just want to say, like, I was very, very drunk, and we was leaving one bar, and we was gonna go somewhere else. And at that point, people was buying me drinks. I had been drinking earlier that day. I went to your house. I probably had like 8 drinks, like from shots to actual drinks. So throughout the day, and if you were lightweight already, like that was a wake up call.
Yeah,
and that's why
Did you ever drink again? Did you drink like that ever again afterwards?
Never in my life. That was the one and only time. And I feel like it was a wake up call. I feel like God was like, girl. But He told me to pray. Right? Like I was like leaned over on the side, like I was sloppy, and He said, pray right now. And I know I would, like, that was one of the clearest clarity moments I had, like God talking to me, pray right now. And then about 3 or 5 minutes later, we crashed into a tree. And I truly believe if I did not say that prayer, I would be dead and she would be dead. Probably. So that I said all of that to say, when you get that inkling that you need to pray, stop what you're doing and be obedient, because But I think, like, when in terms of our friendship and prayer, like, we always pray together. I think we got close because we cried together all the time.
Yeah.
But
we were such crybabies in college.
She used to call me and be like, I'm just going through something. I just need to cry with you. And we would cry together.
It used to be some stuff.
It
was all dumb.
It was dumb stuff now that we look at it.
When I think about it, it was the dumbest thing. Like, why am I crying about that? But I'm glad that I cried about it then to be crying. I feel like it made me.
But I think the crying led us to the praying.
Yeah.
And the praying, like I would say, the moment that solidified that I knew, like, okay, God really signed off on this friendship was when you was going through some stuff with your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Well, it was right after you had your baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, even before, like, because remember when I found out, because we went to the bar, and you was like, did you take a pregnancy test yet? Do you know if you're pregnant? And I was like, let's just go to the store after.
Oh, yes, I remember that day.
And so we went to the store, and we got a pregnancy test. And I went home. You dropped me off, and I went home, and I fell off the toilet because as soon as it said pregnant, as soon as I peed on the stick, I was so mad. Like, how does it know already? Is it for sure? So I fell off the toilet, and I end up, after I called my kid's father, I end up calling Jesse.
You had a lot of issues with your pregnancy.
My first one, yeah.
And after the baby came, and I just remember just being in prayer, like those sloppy prayers where you in tears, you smacked, your eyes all puffy. Like, I was like praying for you like that. Yeah. And I remember driving to work, and I was just praying out loud, and God literally told me that your baby was gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. And I was
remember
like,
you calling me because I
felt the presence of God, just talking about it again. But
because at that time I was in the hospital too when you called me and I had to stay. It was such a long process. I was in the hospital for like, I want to say almost 8 weeks before I had my son. And you called me, and I think you would send me songs too, like on a daily, like spiritual songs to keep me like going. Cause I used to feel like this is I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know if I'm gonna have a baby by the end of this. I don't know if my baby has survived. It was a lot. And so when you called me, that gave me some reassurance for sure. Like,
yeah, God told me very clearly that her baby was gonna be okay. And I called her bawling, crying. You probably couldn't even understand what I was saying.
No, I understood. I just was like, she is really in tears.
Yeah, I was boo crying, and I said, God told me that.
But then you was laughing too at the same time because you was crying so hard.
Yeah, it was. I'm saying it was one of them ugly cries when you snotting and you doing one of these when you trying to stop crying.
No. But he is, and she was right. He is okay. He is.
Yes.
He is thriving. He is my little architect. He is very smart, very ambitious, very in tune with his feelings. I will give him that. Like, he knows what he's feeling and when he's feeling it. Yeah. If he's hurt, he's hurt. If he's happy, he's happy. If he's sad, he's sad. And he chooses sometimes to be sad, I think, on purpose. Get that attention. But we're working through that. We're working through it. And he is very he's a really good kid. Honestly, he really is. But he's healthy, and it was a struggle for the first, I want to say 2 to 3 years. Like, his life was just like, I don't know. Like, is he gonna be able to? It wasn't his life, but it was more like, can he breathe? And we struggled with that for a long time. And it was a hard thing for me.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
It was emotional.
And I feel like even at that time, I kind of separated myself from all of my friends because I was really dealing with that.
But I think that's another point about sisterhood. Is like, we go through phases and spaces. Like, even now, we haven't seen each other in person
in a long time. I'm so glad to see you.
Super long time. You cute. But
I love the hat.
I mean, because like, I was in school and you was in school and we got kids and now it's COVID.
Yeah.
Like, so it's hard. It's hard. So I think just that by itself, people who have not been to college do not understand. Because if you work every day, like, that's one thing. But if you working and going to college and raising kids, like, that's
listen, to every single mother out there who has been to school, raised their kid, especially if you had your kid young, I commend you, because it is a struggle trying to go to school, raise somebody's kids, and feed them on an everyday basis, plus perform your duties at work, plus have to have your assignments turned in for school. It is stressful.
Plus manage your family and
your
spouse
and try to hold a
emotions.
relationship. And girl, I used to feel like I was breaking down. And even last year, it really was like a struggle for me for a while. I remember calling you last year about a lot of the stuff that was going on. And I was like, I don't even know. And then I started to feel like Megan Thee Stallion. Maybe this is my hot girl summer.
Oh, I'm like, wait, like, how did we make this transition?
Yeah, I really was like, oh, wait a minute. Hot girl summer.
But I think that's something that has definitely been successful in our friendship, is that not only we got this spiritual backing, we communicate, we give each other space. We can be real
ratchet with each other too.
Oh, we are ratchet at our core.
Yeah. It's been some really
good. So
time.
Get you a friend that you can pray with, that you can turn up with, that if you want to go before the throne of God, or if you want to bust the windows, they ready, they down. But I think that, like, it has been a benefit that we have been able to adapt in our friendship, and we give each other, like, the space. Like, you have those friends that you could pick up where you left off. Like, it's like y'all didn't even miss a beat. You give each other the rundown of what you missed over the last couple months. This was what happened. This was been going on. Now what you been doing? Because some people feel like you gotta be talking to your friend every day,
and you don't have to. And I feel like that's not a real friend if you have to talk to them every single day.
Like, it's cool.
I mean, yeah, like, you can talk to you can talk to them every day, but I just think that you don't necessarily have to. If you have a friend who you can like pick up the phone, like you said, and talk a mile a minute, and you haven't talked to each other in 6 months, that's your friend still. Like, it's just, you know, and it still can be one of your close friends. Because like I said, me and you don't talk on an everyday basis, but I know that I can call you with anything and receive what you are saying, and I can trust that you are non-judgmental and you're going to listen and hear me out and give me good advice.
But I will say, something that I do feel like I struggle with, even with that right now, is not necessarily with you, because I mean, I feel like it's reciprocal with our relationship, but feeling like you got those friends that you feel like, you know, I don't gotta talk to you every day, but like you always the person reaching out when y'all are communicating, and like, I don't know, I'm just to a place where I'm just like, I'm gonna love y'all from a distance for some people, because I don't always want to be the one reaching out, want to be the one checking on you, always want to be the one, you know, recommunicating, because then that does make me question, like, are we really friends?
Yeah, but I think sometimes everybody gets caught up in their life.
Yeah, and I think I work on honoring that. But
I think if you can't hold like if you reach out and you can't hold a conversation with them, then that's when the relationship.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I definitely feel like a lot of like the people that are close to me, we kind of tend to get in our spaces and we handle stuff differently, but some of us shut down, like block out when we stressed or when we going through stuff, and it probably shouldn't be like that, especially when you going through stuff. You need your people around you, but we do have the tendency to do that. Like,
but I think sometimes you need that break too. Like, you just need the time to really
reflect and don't want to talk about it, because I don't even know how I feel at this space, so just let me have a moment.
Because I think for me, especially transitioning into going back to work full time, oh my gosh, I have a lot of days where I just don't want to talk, only because I have to talk so much at work. And sometimes it's a struggle dealing with what they go through, and then having to be like,
ooh, that's
come
gospel.
Home.
I'm a counselor, so I don't want to talk to you. Don't call my phone. Text me, you know, especially if it's Monday through Friday, because I don't, my brain, I need to shut it off at some point.
Yeah, like I just be needing, for me especially, I know that I need a whole day to like really recuperate after I've worked. Especially if I work 3 days in a row. I work 12-hour shifts. So if I work 3 days in a row, I be like,
well, Paul, shout out to you real quick for becoming an RN, getting out of school, passing your test. You know, we do big things.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Won't he will?
Yes, he will. So definitely.
Yeah, it was the struggle.
So what are some challenges that you feel like you got right now in managing sisterhood or navigating your way through working through stuff?
I really want to say, like, I really wish I was like perfect. No, I don't have none. But I think some of my struggles are being stubborn is one of them. Key. Because you told me earlier that I was stubborn, and really, when I reflect,
do you think that you stubborn or tend to be stubborn? You might have grown.
I don't like to always receive what someone is saying to me, especially when I'm not. Why you roll your eyes away? Word. I don't always want to receive what somebody is saying, so a lot of times I just kind of like, I will stop listening to you after a while. People don't always know it, but I will really kind of like not hear you. Yeah, I will tune you the hell out. Like, I can't hear nothing that you're saying anymore. And that's really bad, because I shouldn't be like that, but I don't be wanting to hear.
You see, you know that you do it, so you can work on it.
And so, and like I said, I've really grown because I noticed that I was doing that, and I was like, oh, I gotta grow up, because you can't cut everybody off and be like, oh.
That's been another challenge for me, because my cutoff game is strong. I don't want to hear it right now. My cutoff game is strong. I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. And I think that God has definitely, it ain't no thought to it, God has definitely been checking me on my ability to forgive. And like, if you want to be forgiven.
Yeah,
then
I think
you need to
forgiveness
learn.
is a big thing.
And when people say, I think it's like, it sounds cliche, but it's not for you. It's not for the other people. It's for you. Like, but that's so true, because letting it go and feeling that thing spiritually lift off of you, because for me, I never start the drama, or typically don't. I would say it's like 90-10.
Sometimes.
90-10. 90% of the time I don't. But I do
80.
Okay. No. I still think it's 90, because I will say I don't feel like I started drama, but I would let stuff go on so long and be in the drama, like, because I'm like, oh, you want to, okay, well, let's go. Like, I want you to know that you ain't going to win this drama battle. And then it gets confusing about how the drama started, because then people forget throughout the years that they was the one that started it, because I'm the one that kept it going for so long. So I still think it's like 90% I don't start it, and then 10% I did. But
that's crazy.
It's crazy people logic, but it's true. But I definitely feel like I have continued to grow, and I can even look back at some of the situations, like what did I go, where did I show up that I did something wrong, like what piece did I serve in this issue in the sisterhood. So I definitely think it has been my mouth. I think it has been my delivery. I think it has been what I say, how I say.
And I think sometimes that with me too. I think sometimes I say stuff in a lot of my relationships that it's like, why did I say that? That wasn't very nice. But then I'd be like, but that's just who I am. I always do that. I'd be like, excuse myself for like why I did something. I'm like, no, but that's just who I am.
So maybe
but
just owning, owning our toxic traits. Owning our toxic traits and like really working on them, because I genuinely want to be a better person, and I really do want to take the things that I've done wrong and I've done right and move on to grow. And I definitely feel like something that I continue to do is like to offer space for people to talk to me, and that has not been something that I have always done, because I've had my guards up. But I want to get other people's feedback, like, okay, did I do something wrong? Like, I really genuinely want to know other people's perception of situations, because sometimes we too close to a situation, or we just seeing it through our own lens, so you can't really know. So really asking other people, like, okay, this is the situation, tell me
what you think. And I honestly, I think sometimes people feel like that's bad, like they shouldn't. But I really do feel like sometimes you do need advice from somebody who is not yourself, because you need that outlook from someone else to be like, hey, that's not really right. You should probably really start looking at it this way, just to give you a different perspective. Mind you, all of my friends are social workers. It's kind of crazy.
I'm not a social worker. I'm a
counselor.
But
you're a counselor, but it's all within the same
service.
Yeah, social services. So all of my good friends are into social service type things, and it's crazy because I go to you guys to help counsel me through some of my situations and things that I just go through. Because I'll be like, maybe they have a better, or even with stuff at work, like. So what's your perspective on how someone is, like, just not even giving y'all good details because it's a HIPAA violation, but like just scenarios so that I can know, like, how do I communicate so that they can understand me a little bit better? Because I think sometimes even in our jobs, we don't know how to communicate with everybody, or really for them to understand what I'm saying to them.
I think that willingness to learn, to grow, to, be able to better communicate with each other is a big thing. But something that popped up into my mind while we was talking, I'm just wondering, are you still the type of friend who, in sisterhood, you don't like your friends to be friends with each other? Or do you feel like that has been who you have been?
You feel like I felt that? This is the thing that I feel like I have always been, like, I've never liked to really share my opinion.
That's what I mean.
But not in a sense, not to the extent of, like, my friends can't be friends with each other, because I think that I have done pretty well at including people. Like at first, the beginning, I was kind of like, my friends say this, these are my friends over here, these are my friends. I used to kind of like separate everybody, but I think as I got older, I've been like, oh well, come on, I'm going out with such and such. Come with me, we can all go out together. But
if you know that they could get along, because you know you got some outlier friends that's just gonna be
they're not gonna get along.
Yeah.
But I think some of it kind of shifted differently. Like when my friends be making friends, and I'd be like, I don't really want you to be their friend.
I mean,
and I really feel like, especially here lately, I can't be everybody's friend and hold them to myself. Like I can't just keep them all to myself. You have to let your friends be friends with other people.
And that is a big piece of growth for you. Because you never said it from like a hostile place. But you always said jokingly like,
I did.
You my friend. Yeah, like you don't like to share your friends.
I don't.
And then,
but the truth is about me is I don't want to say it.
Go
it's
ahead
like
and
one
say
of those
it.
things,
We letting our truth out today.
I'm going to say it. I struggle with being selfish sometimes.
What? This is news. I'm sure nobody who knows you knew that.
No, I struggle, but I have grown. Let's just be honest. I'm not as selfish.
But I mean, I flipped the tables.
I used to be selfish and stingy. Like, no, not sharing.
I flipped the tables on you because you started going to school with somebody I went to high school with who I was friends
you did.
with. And I was like, okay.
And me and her became really close.
Yes, and I was like,
don't you dare.
Did you ask my permission? Like, just because you used to always be like that, but I really didn't care. But I just flipped the script on you a little bit.
It was funny because me and her, like, we've really become like really good friends, and I can call her and be like, oh, I did this and this, and she'll do the same. Like while she's going through school, like this and this and this happened, and we can just relate to each other. But it was good to have somebody, especially going through nursing school. It's really good to have somebody who you can talk to and be like, that's my only nursing. Well, no, she's not my only nursing friend, but she is like one of my only nursing friends who I know I can put on to be.
I signed my approval on you being her friend.
How?
Because I met her. I know, but I gave you the okay. That not that you needed it, but just matching your energy over the years, because you have made like, well, but Jasmine, you're my friend, and why are you hanging with that person because you're my friend?
I used to be so bad.
Yeah, so we've grown.
Yeah, I have grown. I did that with everybody though.
I know. That's why I brought it up.
Ooh, it's terrible.
That was one of your challenges in navigating sisterhood too.
And you're not the only one who used to be like, you're getting on my nerves. Like one of my other good friends, like, you're getting on my nerves with this.
So from college when y'all thought this y'all wasn't gonna be my friend, and I made you, like, I forced my friendship upon you to get into a space where you had to let me be other people's friend, like.
But you're a very social butterfly. Like, you're very good at talking to people. I feel like the tables have turned because I feel like I don't always want to talk to people anymore. Like, I feel like I was real like, hey, how are you doing? Now I'm like, I don't really want to talk to you.
God is pushing me out of my comfort zone to make me more social.
He's pulling me back into you don't gotta talk to everybody.
So we talked about some of the things that we've struggled with and challenges in navigating sisterhood. So what are some things like overall that you think women struggle with?
Jealousy.
Pow, that's a big one.
I think jealousy is one.
Men. Ooh, my goodness gracious.
And
I would say gossiping.
Yeah.
Because we as women are communicators. We talk, but then it can kind of turn, a little messy. So I work in a field that's a lot of females, and what I do, and I just like get into a space where I don't want to be a part of no drama. Me too. Finding myself sometimes in situations where it's like leaning toward the drama side, like I don't want to be a part of no gossip.
And it's so hard because it's kind of like, well, what do you have to talk about, but more so like, how do you escape from that when it's just all catty? Like, it's all just about, I don't like such and such. And what I've learned from myself, especially being in the work field, is to like pull myself back.
Absolutely.
Like, let me know, because I've had situations in the past where there have been some catty situations at work, which were absolutely not called for, and it made no sense. And the crazy thing is, like, I had a really good friend. I have to catch you up because I don't want to name people.
I don't know what we talking about.
But we just, and it's crazy because I had a really good friend who had drama with another co-worker, but turns out now we're all really good friends. Like, we meet up with each other all.
So I think another challenge that I think is big is like knowing and honoring that some people are not meant to be your friends long term.
Yeah,
like, you got seasonal people that come in your life, and I think sometimes I have tried to force things past where it was supposed to be, and I don't think you always know in the moment like this is probably a seasonal person. You don't. But I mean, and honoring that you're not gonna be cool with everybody. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of times everybody is not for you.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
You don't have to be petty. You don't have to walk around like
you don't have to be
an enemy.
Like, have you ever listened to SZA?
Yeah.
But she has this song, like, her grandmother is on there, and she's like, you don't have to like me, but you don't have to treat me rude or be disrespectful. And that's basically, it's really true. Like, you don't have to talk to me. I feel like you better talk to me. You don't have to like me. But honestly, I think the main thing that you really do have to do is respect somebody's space. If you don't do nothing, at least respect their space. Don't feed into their energy if you don't have to. A quick, oh, hi, and keep it moving is all that it can be. Because everybody's, like you said, they're just not for you.
And being okay with that. Yeah, it's okay.
And so, I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people aren't for me. I can feel it.
You just catch the vibe.
Yeah,
like
you
not. But you know what? Honestly, like, I could catch people vibes too.
He's not for me. Yeah.
I could catch people vibes too. Like, I could pretty much, like, not to say, like, I won't give you a chance, but I could pretty much, like, based on people's energies, know, like, oh, they my type of person versus,
like, okay, so I'm gonna give you an instance. It's a girl at work. And I know that she's not for me. Like, I just tried to, like, I'd be like, hi, how's your day? And she really won't respond or say anything. And I was like, she's not for me. So now I don't have a conversation. I don't even say anything to her. Like, what's the point of opening up my mouth to you? And I'm okay with that because I feel like she wasn't for me.
I think, but that, like, back to when you was talking about what can you do in catty situations when you ain't trying to be a part of the gossip. Like, I don't have to feed into it. I don't have to comment. Or I could straight up say, like, y'all know I don't want to be a part of this. Like, I'm going, or, exit left, or tell them, communicate that. Like,
yeah, and there's no beef or anything. She's just not for me. I don't have no, like, I just don't have nothing to say to you.
Not my cup of tea.
I tried.
Keep it moving.
And not that I feel like everybody there is for me anyways. I just feel like if I'm gonna work alongside of you, you gonna ask me for my help at some point. At least I can do is say hi. Yeah. But even then, oh well. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But not like feeding the drama with it though. No. Like, cause to me,
because I feel like I'm not gonna be petty and be like, oh, she need my help. Now I'm not gonna help her.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like, it's just like, if she called me, she need me to do a sign off or something. Okay, I'm back out the room. I'm glad I don't gotta have a conversation.
So, what are some tips like that you would give to other women that are navigating sisterhood?
I would say be open to learning about yourself.
Absolutely.
I think that sometimes we get so caught up in learning about the person, but they can help you discover some things about yourself.
Or just even being in a space where, like, self-reflection is important because we present our own issues and our own barriers and our own histories to a situation.
And be positive.
So everything that I'm going to, like, receive from you, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told y'all about history that I had with other females. So I'm going into the situation with my own baggage. So you could say something to me that triggers something else. Like, I have to reflect in me. It got to start with me before I could be a friend. I need to be able to you know, be a friend to somebody else before I could have a friend or expect friendship. Like, so what is it about me that I need to work on that it might, you know, make it difficult to do that? I think the self-reflection is the primary thing to start with.
Yeah, look at yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not. I think a lot of times we like to put blame. Like, what is it called? I can't think right now. But, you know, like when people put the blame on someone else versus taking ownership. What is it called?
We get it.
You know, yeah. A lot of times people do that. And I really want to know that word now. Because it's going to be stuck in my head. Watch when we're done. I'm going to be like, it was this. But, you know, it's like one of those things where you just have to really kind of be open to knowing who you are in that space when you do have your friendships. Because, I mean, like I said, even one of my really good friends, I had to really do some self-reflecting, like during our time of us not talking to each other. Because we just would do that all the time. Like, and I was like, I told her, I said, you know what, I'm not about to keep doing this with you. It's a real relationship that I have. She is going to see this and crack up. But, like, I told her, like, I'm not about to keep doing this with you. Like, we're not about to keep falling out. This is the last time. Like, we're friends and we in this for life, period. Like, we just cannot keep doing it because it was childish and petty. Mm-hmm. Like, we just be falling out for no reason. Mm-hmm. Versus really working through our problems and discussing, like, okay, but like I said, I had to learn. This is who she is.
Mm-hmm. It comes with growth.
Like I said, a lot of times I'm not receptive of what someone has to say because I shut that down. Like, no, but I don't see the hurt that comes from my actions either, and so that's when the breakdown begins, and then I'm like really a jerk. So sometimes.
That introspection is a mess, right?
Ain't
like
it?
You really gotta. Oh my god!
Like, I guess I do say.
I know. It's
sometimes
about
I be
me.
like,
That's imperfect. Wow.
Like, that's why I said at the beginning, like, I really wish I could say there wasn't anything, but in all actuality, I really be on the struggle bus.
I mean, it's a lot of times that we look back at stuff that I done did or said, and it's funny. But I mean, I'm a very funny person. That's another episode.
I might say stuff too fast and too slick.
I mean, cause that be the truth though. Like, honestly, slowing down.
Like, even in my relationship,
y'all be telling me stuff I said, and I be like, I don't remember saying that,
and said it,
and I know I probably said it. So, like, I mean, that's why I said, like, yeah, I probably do say stuff that be off the chain, but I just be passionate in the moment. I really don't be knowing I say certain stuff sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I don't catch. Like, even in my relationship now, sometimes I be like, "Ooh, I said this," but it be too late. It already came out.
So try not to hit below the belt.
I have been doing really good.
And be in a space where you are saying things, even like you be honest and have honest communication, but say things with love. And will be another like, tip.
It's a struggle.
Say things with love, and
I have to do some self-reflecting before I even bring stuff up. I'd be like, let me shut up.
So maybe another thing is not always saying things in that moment. Sometimes, like, if you know you can't say things from a place of love, even if it's true, Jasmine, like, don't say it. You know,
don't
fight
say
fair.
If you don't mean it.
Fight fair in the relationship if it's something that you value and something that you share.
And that's what any relationship, because I think that, like, even in our sisterhood, you could just say some stuff.
That's what I mean. Because I've said some stuff, and if, like, in hindsight, I could look back and say, like, even if I was in that moment feeling some type of way, I should have kept my mouth closed because I knew I wasn't going to be able to say it in love or from a place that I, like, at the end of the day, I care about this person and I want their best. I have their best interest at heart. So why would you say it like this, Jasmine, and then hurt that person?
And I think a lot of times we just think that people are going to accept us with everything that we are. Like, if you accept me as your friend, then you should accept the fact that what I'm about to say to you, even though it's raw, unfiltered, and pretty mean or kind of hurtful. It's sometimes you have to be, you have to, like, do some self-reflecting in and be like, wait a minute, that's not, I wouldn't want nobody to say that to me. Because nobody can receive you that way.
You want to, and if your purpose is to, if I really am telling you something because I'm coming from a place of love and I really want you to receive what I'm saying, then I need to make sure I'm delivering it in the most appropriate way for you to be able to. So if I'm not, then is it really about you, and is it really about my
me.
love for you, or is it about me and wanting to get out what I need to say selfishly?
Yeah.
So I think another piece of that would be like setting healthy boundaries. Like, you know, if you know you got somebody in your space who can't do that, or you know you need your moments, like being able to set boundaries, like, you know, and I think that has definitely been something.
And you have to have those open, and like if somebody does say something and it is hurtful to you, to really be open to say, hey, what you said to me was not, I can't receive you.
Or ask questions like, did you mean it when did you mean it like this? Because this is how I received it. Because we both said that we struggled with, like, you know, with people feeling some type of way. Like, but did I really talk to you about it? Or because now I'm gonna be mad at you about something for years that I didn't even mean it like that, or I wasn't coming at you like that. Yeah. But you didn't ask a question, and I say other people are guilty of that with me, so I can't be like that. Like,
now I'm about to talk. Yeah, like it's true. Like sometimes you do have to be very mindful, and I really have been learning that here in this past couple years, just to be mindful of what I say, and to be honest with myself about certain situations. Like sometimes you're not gonna, or like even like in a situation that I kind of have now, is it worth it? Like, is it really worth? Is it worth losing a friendship, or is it worth
like does it
need to be addressed, or can you just let it go?
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
So I think another thing is like adjusting and adapting, like with that person. And like I said, I do think some people become seasonal. Like, and you see, like some people wasn't meant to be for you long term, but like we have had a lot of life changes. Like we started in college, and now we, you know, in beginning of our 30s, like with kids, and we've had to grow and transition in our friendship, and those phases come differently and come at different speeds. But being able to honor, like, okay, well, maybe this person isn't just being flaky and not talking to me. Like, maybe she's going through something too.
Yeah,
like,
people go through stuff all the time. Yeah. And we can't make things be about ourselves
all the time.
Yeah, like it's not always about you. A lot of times it is, like I said, going to school and doing a lot of stuff. You got so much on your plate, it's hard to manage everything else. You don't know what that person is going through on the inside, trying to manage their life and whatever they're going through. Work can be hard at times, so.
But I still do think that it's important to have those reciprocal friendships. Like, if it's somebody that you love, like sometimes, like you remember when I went through that space where I was like, I'm gonna go through my phone and just text everybody that I care about.
Yeah,
like,
I remember you told me.
I said,
you really said this?
Yes, I am. I'm doing a check-in because I want to have those spaces where I know, like, I done been busy, I've been going through a lot, but I recognize that these are relationships that I really value and I love y'all. So I feel like it's still important to have those reciprocal friendships because you don't want to feel like you the only person that care, like, about the relationship. So, and do your work to keep those friendships and relationships going, even if it's just like every couple of years going on a girls trip and turning up without your kids.
Like, like recently, one of my good friends called me. She FaceTimed me. And it felt so good for her to FaceTime me because usually I feel like I always reach out to her.
Yeah.
But for her to actually reach out to me this time, I was like, oh, she loves me.
For real, it feel good. For real.
Yeah. It was something that I was like, wow, this is really it. But yeah, it is. It is beneficial in a lot of ways to have that reciprocal relationships.
So y'all tell us some of the things, the challenges that you have with navigating sisterhood. What are some things that you've been working on? What are some things that you feel like you've been battling through historically? And some areas for growth for yourself and your friendships. So, I mean, this is a friendship that you have told me, like, I'm going to be your friend regardless. You've threatened me.
Yeah, I've threatened all of my friends.
Yeah, so this is... This is a friendship that is gonna last. Like, we're gonna pray about it. We can be mad. I don't care. You can be mad if you want to be mad. I give
like
you
if you want to be
time.
mad, you're gonna be mad. But at the end of the day,
You
I'm still your
call
friend.
me back.
Once I love you, and there's no way that you can take that back. But unless you do something that's just like really shady, and then I'd be like,
Super shady.
Yeah.
And then if
I can't love you no more.
If you do something like that to her, then I'm gonna be ready to fight with her. So like, what's up?
Cause that's on period.
On period. So thank you again for coming.
No problem.
Sure
This was
you
fun.
gonna come back?
Yeah, mommy's and mimosas.
Yes, Mommy's and Mimosas coming soon. Y'all be blessed. Have a beautiful, blessed day.
It's beautiful outside. Thanks for having me. This is such a great thing that you are doing. I'm so glad that you finally have gotten this off.
Yes.
And really are working towards your dreams and your goals. And I really hope that it takes off. And I'm glad to have been a part.
Yes, of course. We all gonna be in this together. All right. See y'all later.
Thank you.